Do you believe wholeheartedly that Jay's your father?
I really do.
You've been ducking this boy's DNA for all it's like. Take the test.
Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else.
Chances are, just out of nowhere, random universal selection, this boy who's not related to you has your nose, has your mouth, has your brow line, has your hairline. It's like all of this just by accident.
50 Cent is straight up thriving right now because Jay-Z just got hit with the kind of legal bombshell that could blow everything up. A judge just ruled that Rymir Carter's paternity case is moving forward. No more delays, no more hiding.
The big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Oh my God, I think I know where we're going with
So
this.
now look, what I'm saying to you is, look, when you start looking at, that's not mine, that's theirs, they're Harper, right? But when you look at, M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M.
And guess what? Jay-Z has until July 18th to finally respond, or things might spiral even faster. But here's where it turns into straight drama. Rumors say 50 Cent is personally covering Rymir's legal fees. That's right, he's allegedly backing the entire case out of pocket, and even worse, he's giving Rymir the spotlight in his upcoming documentary, which is already expected to expose both Diddy and Jay-Z. This isn't just legal. This is about reputations, power, and legacy.
She met Jay-Z and had intercourse with him. How old was she?
I would say I think she was about 16, 17, or 16, just turning 16 or 17. I know it was one of them.
And Jay-Z was what age?
I wouldn't happen to know. I think was he in his 20s?
I read 22.
Oh, yeah.
I think I read 22, but he was in.
Yes, I wouldn't happen to know his age, but 22, I'm pretty sure if they put that out there, then...
It's turning into a full-blown war. Now let's talk about what's really at stake. This isn't some new scandal. Rymir's been saying for years that he's Jay-Z's biological son, and his mother claims she had a relationship with Jay back in 1992 when she was just 16. That makes this way more than just tabloid gossip.
I really try not to get frustrated, basically. I really try not to think about it, I go on with my life because, anything could happen, but, I still gotta live for myself at the end of the day. I still gotta work and bring in income for me. I can't sit around, I gotta get up off my feet and do something. I can't wait on the world. Like, I can't say, I can't wait on anybody to want to respond when they want to. It is important that I know who my biological father is, just because, my mom's health, I don't know if it's coming from our family or it's coming from the other side, and that would be something I really would want to find out because, in the future, you don't know what could happen. And a lot of people are so quick to judge because they see somebody coming out and try to find out if the person, trying to find out things, they so negative to push you down,
If even a fraction of this is true, it's game over. And here's the wildest twist. Sources claim Beyoncé has been doing everything behind the scenes to keep this story dead. Now with 50 Cent poking the beehive and a judge finally saying, let's run it, this case just went from quiet whispers to full-blown chaos. The streets are buzzing, and they're saying this whole thing could rip Jay-Z's world apart. His image on the line, his marriage under pressure, his billion-dollar empire shaking at the foundation. But let's rewind. Who is Rymir Carter really? And why has this case been dragging on for over a decade with barely any spotlight until now? Well, his real name is actually Rymir Satterthwaite, not Carter like some folks assumed. And he's not just clout chasing. This man has been chasing the truth since he was 19. That's over half his life trying to prove one thing, that Jay-Z is his biological father. Rymir's mother, Wanda, claims she met Jay-Z back in the early 90s, when she was still underage. Things happened, she got pregnant, and when she tried to reach out to him, crickets, ghosted. No answers, no support, just silence. Now that Rymir's grown, he's done playing nice, he wants the truth and he's coming with heat. But here's where it gets even messier. Rymir's godmother, Lily Colley, says Jay-Z's team actually did try to smooth things over at first. They even tossed around the idea of putting Rymir on Roc Nation because of his music skills. But somewhere along the line, everything shifted. Suddenly, the tone changed. New lawyers stepped in. And the vibe, ice cold. Something definitely went down behind the scenes. So why did Jay-Z's team suddenly switch gears? Let's be real. Once they realized how deep this could go legally, the panic probably kicked in. We're not just talking about a casual scandal. If Rymir's story holds up, this isn't just about age. It's about crossing state lines with a minor. Jay-Z allegedly took a 16-year-old from Philly to Brooklyn back in the day. That's not just messy, that's potentially criminal. No wonder his lawyers have been dragging this case through the mud for over 10 years. They've been doing everything they can to shut it down, delay it, bury it. Because if this hits the fan, it could crack his whole empire. We're talking lawsuits, public backlash, maybe even criminal investigation depending on how far this goes. Let's break it down again. We've got a 32-year-old man who's been chasing answers since his teens. His mom, who sadly passed away, left a signed statement before she died detailing everything that allegedly went down. And now, a judge is finally fed up with the legal runaround and pushing this case forward. It's not going away this time. Oh, and don't forget, 50 Cent is sitting front row for all of this. Not only is he backing Rymir financially, he's got the camera rolling for that Diddy and Jay-Z expose.
The Beyoncé thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp,
Okay.
and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay,
Okay.
about regarding saying Rymir needs to go away little boy, something to that effect. It was something out there. But
that's what I
people were
said, we were-
saying that she's a big part of the problem for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not.
This ain't just a legal case anymore. This is a hip-hop power shakeup, and the timing couldn't be worse for Jay. With Diddy already under fire, people are rethinking everything they believed about the biggest names in the game. And now there's quiet talk that some of the evidence being used against Diddy could lead right back to Jay-Z. The game is shifting. People are finally listening to the ones who've been silenced for years. Jay-Z might have thought this would never resurface, but 2025 came in swinging, and nothing is staying buried anymore. Let's take it back to where it all started, 1992. Jay-Z was still grinding, just beginning to carve out his lane in the rap game. That's when Wanda, Rymir's mother, says she met him. According to her, Jay picked her up in Philly and took her straight to his aunt's apartment in Brooklyn. That right there already raises questions. Why take a teenage girl across state lines? That's not just shady, that's borderline illegal. 2 weeks later, she says he came back for one more visit, and after that, vanished. No calls, no contact, nothing. He ghosted her completely. Now here's where things get even darker. Dr. Lily Coley, who was close to Wanda, claims the story goes way deeper than what people know. Back then, Jay-Z was still using his street name, Rock, and the spot where all this allegedly happened. It wasn't just some quiet block. It was a known hotspot for drug dealing. And yes, according to Coley, Jay was allegedly hustling out there too. When Wanda found out she was pregnant, she had no way to reach him, so she did what a lot of scared young girls do. She put her then boyfriend, Robert Graves, on the birth certificate. But that lie didn't hold up for long. Fast forward to 2011, Robert took a DNA test and the results were loud and clear. He wasn't the father. The courts officially removed his name. And since Wanda only admitted to being with two people, Robert and Jay, Rymir decided it was time to stop wondering and start fighting. That's when he made it official and filed a paternity case in 2010. But from the jump, things got complicated. The paperwork was a mess, the case kept getting bounced around, and Jay-Z's legal team, they weren't trying to cooperate. This wasn't just a simple family dispute. It was the beginning of a very long battle against one of the most powerful names in music. Rymir says Jay-Z's legal team has been playing dirty from day one, accusing them of paying off lawyers and even judges just to keep the truth buried. And honestly, when you look at how wild this case has been handled, you start to think he might not be lying. This case has been tossed out, refiled, pushed from court to court, and delayed so many times it feels like a bad rerun. Every time Rymir gets close to answers, the goalposts move again. At one point, Jay-Z's lawyers actually argued that he couldn't be forced to take a DNA test in New Jersey because he didn't own property there. Seriously? That was their defense. But guess what? Rymir came with the receipts. He dug up documents proving Jay-Z did have New Jersey property at the time, completely blowing that excuse out of the water. Now here's where things really start to look shady. After Rymir exposed that Jay-Z did own New Jersey property, you'd think the court would finally move forward with the DNA test, right? Wrong. Instead of taking action, the case was mysteriously redirected again, tossed around like a hot potato while the legal teams kept playing defense. And let's not forget, Rymir is not some internet troll. He's been pushing this fight for over a decade, using his own money, dropping evidence, and refusing to stay silent. He even took the case to the Supreme Court in an attempt to get justice. But once again, blocked. The higher he climbs, the more brick walls he hits. Why is that? Insiders close to the case say Jay-Z's team has done everything to delay, deny, and deflect, from challenging court jurisdictions to conveniently missing deadlines. It's giving power moves. It's giving cover-up. And now even legal experts are starting to ask, why hasn't this man just taken the DNA test and cleared his name if he's really got nothing to hide? Rymir says it loud and clear. If he's not my father, prove it. But Jay-Z, total silence. No statements, no public denial, no transparency. Meanwhile, whispers are growing louder that this isn't just about a test, it's about what the results would unlock. Not just for Rymir, but for Jay-Z's entire image, his legacy, his brand, his marriage. And here's the part that has everyone raising their eyebrows. Because this still isn't just about DNA. Rymir's camp believes the reason Jay-Z is ducking the test so hard is because it's tied to more than just paternity. If the test confirms what Rymir's been saying, it could open the floodgates to lawsuits, back child support claims, and public scrutiny Jay's been avoiding for decades. See, this ain't just a he say, she say anymore. It's about legal accountability. It's about image. And it's about the money. If proven to be Jay-Z's biological son, Rymir could sue retroactively for financial support, lost opportunities, and more. And that's millions we're talking about. Not to mention the damage it could do to Jay-Z's carefully built persona of being a devoted father and family man. On top of that, Rymir's legal team has been pushing for access to sealed documents and records that were never properly reviewed the first time around. Documents that could allegedly reveal just how far Jay-Z's people went to keep this quiet. And with 50 Cent adding fuel to the fire, dragging this whole story into the public spotlight, the pressure is building like never before. This isn't just a personal issue anymore, it's a spectacle. And fans are watching every move, ready to pounce if Jay slips even once. And now the internet's locked in, dissecting every move, every court date, every interview tied to this case. Rymir's not backing down, and Jay-Z's silence is starting to look like an answer in itself. Because let's be real, if someone falsely claimed to be your child for over a decade, wouldn't you shut that down instantly with one test? Just one? But Jay hasn't. And that silence, it's only making things worse. Meanwhile, Beyoncé's name keeps getting dragged into the mess too. Some insiders say she's been doing everything in her power to keep this scandal from touching her brand. Rumor is she's been pressuring Jay to finally handle it behind closed doors before it spills over into her world completely. And honestly, can you blame her? Her entire empire is built on control, perfection, and image. This right here, it's chaos. But there's more. Some fans have started pointing out the eerie timing, how this is all surfacing while multiple hip-hop heavyweights are facing serious legal heat. Diddy's empire is shaking. Others are under investigation. And now Jay-Z's allegedly hiding a decades-old paternity scandal. The public is starting to question just how deep this brotherhood really goes. Who's protecting who and at what cost? This ain't just about Rymir anymore. It's about a pattern, a system of silence, manipulation, and erasure. And Rymir, he's done being erased. He's forcing hip-hop's biggest name to face the one thing he's avoided for years. So now it's crystal clear. 50 Cent isn't just trolling Jay-Z for fun anymore. He's bankrolling what could turn into the biggest paternity scandal hip-hop has ever seen. And with a judge finally putting pressure on this case, the clock is ticking louder than ever. Rymir Carter is standing his ground. No PR spins, no hush deals, no retreat. And with that July 18th deadline coming in hot, Jay-Z's got nowhere left to hide. The world wants answers. Is he finally going to take the DNA test, or will he pull another legal stunt to dodge the truth? One thing's for sure, 50 Cent's not letting up. He's gonna ride this wave all the way through, making sure every single twist gets aired out in public. From interviews to documentaries, this ain't just about exposing secrets, it's about shaking the very core of Jay-Z's carefully crafted image. And the best part, we're just getting started. So now the question is, will Harv finally face the music, or keep playing the game that's worked for decades? Either way, we're watching. The fans are watching. And 50 is grinning like he just hit the jackpot. What do you think Jay-Z's next move is gonna be? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should he take the test or keep dodging? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more deep dives like this.